A rare offer from South Korea to the north, and it comes less than 2 weeks after Kim Jong-un successfully test-fired the country's first intercontinental ballistic missile. Now the South saying it wants to hold military talks with North Korea. This comes as the Red Cross in Seoul just proposed a separate meeting to discuss the reunions of families separated by the Korean War, which was more than 60 years ago. Joining me now, retired General Jack Keane. He is chairman of the Institute for the Study of War and a Fox News military analyst. Sir, thank you for joining us. What do you make of this?
Well, it's not a surprise, because during the campaign, President Moon, who was trying to separate himself from his predecessor, who was a hardliner against North Korea, that is, advertised that he really wanted to enter into diplomatic negotiations with North Korea. So here we have it, and he's certainly going to do it. I mean, it's a good thing, certainly, to try to rejoin families, and I think he also wants to reopen a military hotline. That's also a good thing. But the United States does not agree with diplomatic action with North Korea, because North Korea, just a couple of weeks ago, Melissa, in violation of a UN resolution, fired a ballistic missile that they're trying to reach all of our allies with and the United States. So clearly, as long as North Korea is in violation of UN resolutions and UN regulations, we're not going to entertain any discussions with them.
So what does it mean, when they get together and talk? Does it mean that some are interpreting this as he's being rewarded for this hostile behavior? He behaves this way and he's sort of scared and bullied the other side into saying, well, let's start talking.
Well, we've had these tensions now, 60-plus years with North Korea, and every once in a while we do have a South Korean president that makes a diplomatic overture. They have all come to nothing. We have nothing to show for it. Quite frankly, the North Koreans have developed nuclear weapons, probably a dozen or so, and now they're developing ballistic missiles capable of delivering nuclear weapons. That is what we've got to show for it. So clearly, these kind of overtures, where they're feel-good measures, and you get the indication, well, maybe we're trying to accomplish something, nothing really comes of it. It reminds me of the negotiating process that Secretary Kerry put us through with Iran and the Russians and the Syrians for 8 years and have nothing to show for it.
What do you think about this conversation about separating Cyber Command from the NSA? Why, to the average person who doesn't understand anything about that, why would that be meaningful? Is it good or bad?
Well, I don't think it's advisable. Look, the Cyber Command is, as the name implies, it is the military headquarters that organizes the military capability to attack and to help defend the United States. The National Security Agency is our #1 cyber-capable organization inside the United States military. Cyber Command cannot exist without the National Security Agency because of the incredible capability that we have. By the way, we have the most offensive capability in the world, and make your eyes water what we can do to an adversary, which we can't talk about because it's classified, obviously, but we have an incredible capability. I'm not sure why we have to grow another major headquarters when the capability already exists there. And listen, since World War II, Melissa, what we have done with the United States military, we've been growing headquarters. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, we've been reducing, since that time, up to the president, the military, over 40% has gone down in size. But guess what? The 3- and 4-star headquarters in that same period of time have increased in numbers and have increased in size. Now, why? Why are we doing it? The Department of Defense, I've been a part of it for almost 40 years. They have never seen an organizational structure that they don't like. They love organizational structure. You got a function, they want to put an organization around and put a 3- or 4-star in charge of it. That is the habit we have. The Trump administration should be putting their foot down and saying, no more. Stop this stuff.
Yeah. That's hard to do when you try and balance it with the idea that, on one hand, the military has been starved of funds, so they tend to conflate them. And you're pointing out that there are more high-rises in D.C. supporting more people that are there earning a lot of money through boom and through bust and living there than there are actual people out fighting and needing the funds for other things, right?
Oh, yeah. What we need is more ships with the crews on them. We need more tanks. more fighting vehicles. We need more airplanes with the pilots on them, and then we need the funds to help train them properly, and so that we can maintain them. We have operational rates that are in the tank. 40–50% of our airplanes are not flying. So we're in trouble in terms of readiness, and we're in trouble in terms of the size of the force, but yet we're blossoming all over with major headquarters like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. We should put our foot down.
Thank you for straightening it out for us, General Jack Keane. We appreciate it.
Good talking, Melissa.
You too.